Also, it's too early to withdraw your troops. Wait for another decade. The message to President Obama from Iraq's top general. Very latest now from our correspondent, Humphrey Hawksley.
2 weeks on, hunger, thirst and a growing desperation. Here in Punjab, so many in need, but just one battered truck with basic supplies. Yes, their ID cards show that they're Pakistani citizens, but more and more questions are being asked as to what the government is actually doing to help them.
We see no sign of the government. The government should try to help its people. It should provide clean water and food.
Just one voice from 14 million people whose lives have been turned upside down by the floods. From north to south, the whole country is now affected. The UN has asked for $460 million immediately. America is sending more helicopters. The destruction of crops is leading to fears of acute shortages in coming months, and in some places, food prices have already tripled. Yet, more rain and flooding is forecast.
Unless aid activities continue to be rapidly scaled up to reach those who remain displaced and without immediate access to food and clean drinking water, additional loss of human lives and further suffering will occur.
One family in mourning still lives in their flood-wrecked home and tells the story of how floodwaters struck without warning, sweeping away Taja Bibi's sister.
I
go to the river and wail and cry for her. We search for her for 6 or 7 days and we still cannot find her. If only we could find her body, but we have found nothing.
Many still refuse to leave their homes, others seek refuge. It's now Ramadan, and a senior cleric has said that flood victims facing difficulties do not need to fast. They can perform it later in the year. Humphrey Hawksley, BBC News.
Now let's find out what all that means for people on the ground. Let's cross live to Islamabad and my colleague there, Lyse Doucet.
And such is the crisis here in Pakistan. One day it's blazing hot, another the rain is starting to fall again. It's falling here in the capital and across a country which has already been ravaged by monsoon floods. Every day there's a new warning. Today it's about a food crisis. The UN says that the damage to valuable cropland will cost Pakistan billions of pounds. And that will hurt most of all in Pakistan's breadbasket, Punjab province. And we're joined here by the governor of Punjab, Salmaan Taseer. Salmaan, I know you've been touring the flood-affected areas in your provinces. Just how much damage has been done?
Well, the areas that are worst damaged is the south, which is the poorest part of Punjab anyway. And the cotton crop has been badly hit. We estimate 650,000 acres has been damaged, which is over $1 billion, and nearly 10% of our cotton crop. And of course, the sugarcane crop, the rice crop, vegetables, maize. I would say a conservative estimate would be about $2 billion. And Pakistani cotton is of course famous, and so are our textiles. And I think that's an additional argument for access to the European community for our textiles and to the United States.
And when you say destroy, does that mean it's this year's crop? How will that, what are the consequences?
This crop was just about to be harvested. This is the time when the cotton crop is harvested. So that has been a terrible blow. And of course, infrastructure has been damaged, roads, railways, schools, and of course the human misery, you've seen that. You've been reporting on that. So of course there's the human angle. And as I said, South Punjab is anyway the poorest part of Punjab. And these districts are where people have constantly said that they are a breeding ground for terrorism. And I think it's more important that the world understands that Pakistan is on the front of the war on terror and comes to our aid, because people are asking again and again that where's the support when we need it now. I mean, the catastrophe we faced, and but yet I'll say that people with a lot of courage, a lot of resilience, a lot of local organizations, the army, the UN, local NGOs, people are coming in and volunteering and doing what they can and to save what is left. But you know, it's also created a huge human problem as far as rehabilitating these people is concerned, because if small cash crops have been destroyed, their means of livelihood has been destroyed, and they've lost livestock. Many of them depend on livestock. So the small farming community in the poorest part of Pakistan, in South Punjab, has been devastated by this flood.
And it's not over yet. The flood waters are still ravaging areas?
Well, there's a fresh onslaught we're expecting in the next few days. It's not going to be as bad as the first one, but we've taken all the protective measures now, because we are now, at least we know what to expect. What came the first time was something we didn't expect, but we've taken the necessary measures, so I don't expect the same impact as the first onslaught.
And when you say that Pakistan was battling on two fronts, does that mean the security forces, which were focused on the insurgency, you had some terrible attacks in Punjab, are now being diverted to floods?
Well, we've got specialized trained Jawans who are trained in using water vehicles.
These are paramilitary police? Or?
No, these are part of the Pakistan Army. And they have been specially deputed. In fact, I went there to Tonsa Barrage, which is one of the areas, and I addressed them. And in the areas that I went to, people were full of praise for them. And I myself went by helicopter, and I airlifted and dropped supplies to marooned villages and so on. And I saw people sitting there out in the open.
Criticizing the government. Well, you're the governor.
Yes, criticizing, obviously, because if somebody's been devastated, they're angry, you know.
But they're not getting the aid they say they need.
Well, you know, nobody expected devastation, you know, at this extent. So I don't think, if I could say everybody was happy and we've done a fabulous job, we haven't. We have to do a lot more. And it's just a terrible disaster. So we were caught unawares, everybody was caught unawares. And but we've recovered now, and I think if you go now, you'll find that relief teams, first aid, food, everything has reached now.
And enough aid is arriving from outside, starting?
There can never be enough aid, because the moment we're only talking of saving the people, and then we have to rehabilitate them. We have to send them back to their homes have to be rebuilt, they've got to build their crops again, they need fertilizer, they need seed, they need sustenance for that period of time that they've lost, and you know, it has to be done, otherwise you're going to create an entire hundreds and thousands of people who've lost everything they have. So we're looking to the world to support us.
And Pakistanis are looking to their government too. Salmaan Taseer, Governor of Punjab Province, thank you very much for joining us on another overcast day here in Islamabad, another day of deepening worry about this crisis, because it's certainly not over. That's all from us in Islamabad for now. Back to you.
Lise, thank you very much indeed.